always sore in my legs. You know, resistance training just isn't working for me. It's like, that's not working for you. It's your program's not working for you. You've got high intensity, high intensity, high intensity, high intensity, and then 3 weeks later you're calling me and you're saying, man, my knee hurts. What do I have to do? I'm like, of course your knee hurts. You haven't taken a break in 4 weeks. So understand that you have to put the high intensity days. I know it sounds weird, and well, then I won't be able to lift very heavy because I'm going to be doing it on a day when I run really hard. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to get it done. Just get it done. Okay? Go out, you do your hard run, you go into the gym, you do your leg exercises, your upper body exercises, and you go home. Because then Tuesday, you got an easy day coming, right? You're going to allow yourself to recover, and that's understanding stress and adaptation, okay? We don't get better when we run, and we don't get better in the gym. You know, everybody says, did I get better today? Did I improve? You know, we don't gain strength in the gym. We don't get better at running on the road. We break down. Okay? We go out and we break down ourselves, we tear down our tissue, because we get better when we go home and we rest, right? We allow ourselves to adapt to the stress that we put on our body. If we don't stress it enough, then we have no adaptation and nothing happens, right? If I don't lift weights, nothing happens. I break down in the gym. I go to the gym and I break down my tissue. I break down my body. Just a little bit. Just do it a little bit. Just enough so that when I go home and rest the next day and recover, I'm going to be stronger the next time, or the next week, the next 3 weeks. 4 weeks, right? So we don't get better when we're in the gym or on the road. We get better when we rest and we allow adaptation to take place. So give yourself the stress, give yourself the high intensity stress on one day, and then allow that adaptation to take place and relax, and then come back stronger the next week. Again, I got the 4-week blocks there, 3 up, 1 down. That helps keep you stay healthy, gives you a break in the action. And you know, allows you to continue your progress. So hopefully some of this information was informative or new to some of you guys, and hopefully we'll give you an idea of how to set things up for next season. Again, if you'd like pictures or explanations of the exercise, just fill out the speaker evaluation, hand it back to me, put your email address down. I'll be sure to send you the pictures. You can ask me any questions you want. I'll put you on my newsletter. I send out a newsletter once a month, usually at the beginning of the month. And it's full of information like this. It's, you know, usable information, corrective exercise stuff. You know, last month was on knee pain. I'm actually giving a talk on the article that I wrote on correcting and preventing knee pain for runners on April 9th at Soul Sports Running in Tempe at 7:30. We're going to go over a lot of foam rolling stuff and corrective exercises and things like that that maybe you guys haven't seen before. If you want to know, hear more about me or read some of my articles, you can go to OptimumSportsPerformance.com. I have a blog and a forum, and they're both accessible from the homepage, OptimumSportsPerformance.com. The address should be right up there at the top of your page. The forum is free. You can register for an account. You can ask all the questions you want. You can start a training journal. Coach Bill's a member there. He doesn't have a training journal. You can ask all the questions you want. You start a training journal. I got guys from all over the country who come on there and read the training journal, and they shoot you feedback. You just write your training journal. You don't have to ask questions. They'll just come in and say, hey, it looks good. You ever think about doing this? Or, hey, maybe you should try this. They just give you feedback. Or if you have something bothering you and say, man, my knee really hurts, and they'll say, hey, why don't you try this? Or I've been looking at your program, and maybe you should try this. So that's OptimumSportsPerformance.com/forum. And then my blog, OptimumSportsPerformance.com/blog, is where I do all my writing. So usually I try and update it 3 or 4 times a week. Everything's tagged. So you can go on the tags on the right side of the page. You can click running. You'll see all the articles I've ever written about running, primarily strength training for running or soft tissue work for running. If you click on research, you'll see all of the studies I've ever reviewed. So I take research a lot, and I review it usually once a week. I'll review a piece of research that's just come out. And there's a lot of stuff that I've reviewed for runners. Strength training for runners, core training for runners, all the kinds of research that's come out over the years. You can find it all there. And again, both of the blog and forum are accessible through the website. So I'll gladly answer any questions that you guys have, or unless you want to save them to the end, or
if people have questions right now.
If you have questions, yeah.
If you're doing like just focusing one day on upper body,
yeah.
do you still recommend doing the upper body with the high intensity
Yeah.
training, or could
That's a good question. Usually for most runners, I have them do total body because they're not as gung-ho about being in the gym. If you are, that's great. I primarily say upper body training is more of a low intensity type of exercise. So you might go in now, if we're talking about you might do, let's say Monday is speed work, and you might do squats and lunges and one-legged deadlifts or whatever. And then Tuesday you may go in and do some cross training, maybe you bike or you do an easy run, and you do your upper body training, push-ups and pull-downs or whatever it is you do. But I usually qualify that if you're just doing upper body as a low intensity.
When you're doing mileage, do you lift before or do you lift after?
Yeah, that's a good question. Mileage is in Saturday mileage?
Yeah.
Saturday mileage
So you do medium mileage.
Okay, medium. Well, Saturday mileage, don't even worry about running because the goal that day is get out there and run. With your strength training and your running on medium mileage days, it's going to depend on where you are in your training phase. So, again, if we go back to that 25 weeks out from the marathon, maybe weeks 25 to about weeks 15, I'm really working on developing some strength and fixing my mechanical problems. So I may do my low volume of strength training first and then go and do my medium running. And that's how I did it with a couple guys that I had, and they had some pretty good results. And then as we get closer, so now we're about 15 weeks out from the marathon, now we're going to shift. Obviously running takes precedent. It's the most important thing, developing our aerobic capacity. We just need to do a little bit of strength training again to stress the system so that we maintain or hopefully continue that adaptation. So now you're going to go in and you're going to do your running first, and then you're going to go over and hit the weights real quick, stretch out, and go home and relax.
A lot of guys do it, and gals do it too, haphazardly. They'll lift beforehand and then they'll go run afterwards and so on. If you do, it's the same thing we talked about when you're tired. Anytime you feel doubt, fear, or fatigue, go back to your form. You're going to be fatigued at the end of a running session or weight training session. You have to be particularly cognizant. Be very, very aware of your body position, your economy of motion, whether you're walking, running, or whatever, or lifting weights.
Yeah.
I see a lot of guys in the weight room, and it's an abomination. Some of these guys going out there and their backs all over the place, and they're going to get hurt there. You think you're doing something good, and actually you're better off not even lifting if you're going to do it badly.
Yeah. If you can, try and get someone to work with you and help you out with with your form and your technique. And the other thing is keep a journal, keep a training journal. Usually whenever someone comes to me and they say, man, my knee starts hurting or my shoulder hurts or whatever, the first thing I say is, let's look at your training journal. What have you been doing for the past 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks? So chances are, maybe it's not right. Maybe you've been doing too much, right? Sometimes we don't keep track of the weights, and we don't keep track of how many sets and reps we do and stuff like that, and then we go in the gym and we're pounding all this weight and we're like, wow, I'm really sore, and it's doing a lot, So keep track of that stuff, write it down, date. Okay, I did 5 miles, and I did, split squats, 25 pounds, 3 sets of 8, push-ups, 3 sets of 10, chin-ups, 3 sets of 5, stretch, whatever. Keep track of that stuff so that you can look back and say, okay, maybe I've been pushing it a little pretty hard for the past 6 weeks, maybe I need to scale back. Or you can say, wow, look at how far I've really come in the past, 8 weeks. I've really gained some strength. I've really made some improvements. Anything else?
Any other questions? Okay, grab your raffle tickets, those that did.